Disclaimer: knives are tools, not toys. Never misuse a knife, and especially don't use one to hurt each other. Respect is paramount. Now that that's out of the way, I've been sort of letting things pile up. I haven't been reviewing properly, and it's about time I got off my duff and did something about it. So, after I found a nice appreciation for the large Ned Foss folding blades, I decided to get something a little more practical. That would be this number. It's considered a multi-tool. Yes, that's right, a multi-tool. But hear me out. It's actually pretty cool. This part, which can also fit a lanyard, can be used as a glass breaker. And arguably so can this part. But mainly this part. So if you're trapped in, say, a car that's slowly filling with water or is upside down or crashed somehow, you can bust a window and crawl out. Make sure you bust the side windows because those are designed to shatter with the right amount of pressure, not the front window, which basically turns into a fabric. Oh, and to get out of your seatbelt, you got this handy dandy seatbelt slitter. Basically, you hook it into the side of the seatbelt and shoo, and you're free of the seatbelt. Just be careful if you're upside down. And while this blade does have thumb studs, ambidextrous by the way, along with a nice little belt clip, ideally you use this little piece here by pressing out and down like so. And with a satisfying click, the leaf spring locks the blade in place, and overall it is very nice. It's a little bit shiny, but it's not mirror polish, so if you want to use it to signal plane or something, it might be hit and miss. The blade itself is, if I can focus on it, let's try this side. There we go. The blade itself, come on, focus. There we go. The blade itself is pretty decent. It's got a nice little point. Oh, and the multiple models. If you want partial serration on the blade, they have those too. I got this on Amazon for under $20. Actually around $17 before tax. Anyway, as for this little thing here, there's a reason it's shaped like that. It's supposed to be a bottle opener. I sort of question where it's placed because if you look, if you try to use it as a bottle opener, you do run the risk of either sloshing the drink around as you pull up, or possibly damaging the blade or even cutting yourself by doing that. Though I think if you're careful, you might be able to get away with it. As for how it grips, these two depressions are good for your index and ring finger, or index and pointer fingers, and your ring and pinky fit well into this spot. Your thumb fits nicely on these very comfortable but still rough grooves here, allowing you to point the blade very well. And also, it encourages you to cut away from yourself. So while you probably wouldn't be batoning a stick with a blade this thin, although it's not exactly fragile looking, it's best for whittling, I think. So yeah, once again, if I can just, There we go. Once again, Ned Foss has impressed me with its blades. Now, if you do want a knife that you could probably use to baton large sticks, look no further than the fine folks at Mossy Oak. There we go, Mossy Oak. And if you'll notice, this blade's shape, yes, it is like the knife from Scream, the black handle version of which could be found at Walmart for, when I was a kid, $40, but nowadays is like $70, which I think is overpriced. They also seem to have them in Harbor Freight, although I'm not sure if that's still accurate. But anyway, this blade is of a Bowie style, but smaller. I'd say it's 6 or 7 inches, which is more than enough. I'm sorry, that's a terrible joke. As you can see here, the blade is fairly thick, so odds are you should be able to both baton sticks with it, and if you have a ferro rod, the edges here should be enough to scrape the ferro rod and get a fire going. The clip point is, if I can get the stupid thing to focus. Come on, focus. There we go. The clip point is kind of flat, but it still makes for a decent point. And the edge is fairly decent. And over here, the handle, which has a nice little sort of Damascus pattern, although I think that was etched. And it's got layers of leather as the wrapping. And overall, it's fairly comfortable in the hand. You can grab it facing away from you, facing it towards you, although you really shouldn't cut towards you. You could do a reverse grip if you ever need to do a reverse grip. Overall, once again, Mossy Oak has given me a fine example of a modern blade. And just a heads up, yeah, all the blades featured here are, I think, of a good, decent level of carbon stainless steel. I just wanted to point that out. And also, this particular blade, not only was it, I think, around $20, maybe a little bit more. Once again, I got it on Amazon, so prices may fluctuate. It also comes with a little brother. It's the same basic blade, just a tiny bit smaller, well, quite a bit smaller. And while your pinky's sort of hanging off the edge, it's still comfortable, and you could use this for small work. You could save the large blade for batoning and basically building a fire. And this could be used for preparing food, or for cutting lines. Either way, it is fairly decent. And for comparison, here are the two blades together. Hang on, let me adjust the focus here. There we go. See? That's them side by side. So yeah, good things come in pairs. And now for our final blade. A while back I showed a dagger based off of the British World War II fighting dagger. But in America, We like things to be just a wee bit bigger and a little more chunky. And yes, I'm talking about the fairly famous companion to the Bowie knife. I'm going full Star Destroyer here. The Arkansas toothpick. It's so huge, I literally have to back the camera up and really hold it out in front of me to really get a sense of its size. Here is the mossy oak blade, and here is the toothpick for scale. Yep. Handle is huge, and the blade is longer than the whole mossy oak knife. So yeah, it is, it's not little. It is not little. It is fairly shiny. Sorry if this is giving someone epileptic shock. Epileptic shock. Looks like the Quilon and the cap on the handle are both brass, and the blade is 2 inches wide at the base, fairly thin, but also fairly beefy. And I think it's at least a foot long. This thing, with the exception of the butt cap of the handle, could be classified as some kind of gladius. Like, I think I could sneak this into a reenactment of Roman legions, and it wouldn't look out of place. Also, it's technically supposed to be balanced for throwing. Let me check just real quick. Okay. So it seems like the balance point is about an inch from the handguard, but I wouldn't try throwing this. I wouldn't try throwing any of the blades, although some of them do feel like they're balanced for throwing. Never throw a knife unless it's specifically designed for throwing. But yeah, this technically would be a companion of the Bowie knife, especially for cowboys and let's just say people who are hunting other people. Like, let's just say bounty hunters, and leave it at that. It was the Old West. You didn't want to go into details. Oh, and by the way, the brand name is Wild Turkey, if you want to look it up. Wild Turkey. And it's supposed to be hand-forged. And if you look closely here, there's sort of a slight, I don't want to say imperfection, but it sort of counts as an imperfection. But that could just be a trick of the light. And I think along the blade somewhere there was something else. Well, anyway, it's not perfectly symmetrical, so this was not machine made. So yeah, it's definitely something worth getting if you want a little piece of history. Oh, there's the other imperfection. They're all towards the tip. I can get the camera to focus. Well, anyway, yeah. So there you have it. For rather impressive blades by Ned Foss, Mossy Oak, and Wild Turkey, all purchased on Amazon, all fairly reasonably priced, except for the Wild Turkey one. I think I got that one as a special sale, while the others are naturally reasonably priced. And that's where my collection stands so far. This is Mr. J signing out and reminding you, knives are tools, not toys. It's best to avoid a fight, but if there's no alternative, you probably wouldn't go wrong with having one of those babies on your belt. Though it's always best to seek a nonviolent option. Respect and love one another, and I will see you next time.